Hey YouTube, got another knife review. Large fixed blade knife for you today. This is the, it's the Honshu Tanto. Alright, and it also comes in a satin blade. Alright, but I got the black coated blade just because it's such a large, this is a huge blade. The blade length is 10.7 inches. Right, and as you can see, they're calling it a Tanto, but it has no sub-tip, okay, because there's a big difference between the Americanized Tantos, which have a sub-tip, and then the more traditional ones that don't. Alright, and you can see name of the knife, Honshu. Now this is a budget blade, alright. The price tag on this is about $36. It is full tang, has good thickness. Alright, you see it has the handle, it's a rubber overmold. You see it has a nice, there's a lanyard hole, and it's basically what they call a skull crusher type shape for the pommel. You see it has a fairly thick metal guard, and it has a nice feel in the hand. Alright, now the reason that I got the black coated blade, well, I thought that it's such a huge knife that I thought the satin might look almost like a toy. I just thought the black blade, I just think it looks a little better. But it's such a cheap blade, maybe I will try the other one and have a nice matched pair. Alright, now you see the blade itself over 10 inches in length. It is pretty impressive. The tip, very penetrating type tip. Now the grind on this, it is a very shallow, hollow grind, and you see there's a fuller right there. Some people call that blood groove. And then there's the primary bevel and a very shallow hollow grind. Now the actual initial sharpness is pretty low. It's actually not that sharp when it arrives. So if you want to try cutting real targets with this, you're going to have to sharpen it. But for the price, that's fine, because this is kind of a budget version of a lot of Tanto or Japanese style blades that Cold Steel has. The Cold Steel Magnum Tanto and things like that. Those are over $200, right? So this is meant as just a budget version of that type of stuff. And for what it is, I think it's pretty impressive in the size, the feel. It's nice. Not everything needs to be, so expensive. Now it is, as I said, it's a pretty big blade. Just by comparison, this is my K-Bar ZK Tanto, which is a pretty big blade, but look how much longer the Honshu is compared to the K-Bar ZK. And that tip, that's more the Americanized Tanto tip, so you see the differences. But they're both, they're both sold as Tanto. So pretty big knife. And to compare it to another in the Honshu series, this is the Honshu Fighter that I've reviewed. All right, you see how much bigger the Tanto is than the other Honshu. So, you're getting quite a blade for your money. All right, and this is the sheath that it comes with. You can see it has a horizontal strap with button closure, large belt loop, stitched leather. And again, for this price, I wasn't really expecting much of a sheath. And it's not a very effective sheath for any sort of tactical use. But I don't buy the knife for the sheath. Especially at this price. I want to show you it. So there it is. Alright, my overall thoughts on this blade. I think it's good for the price. Is it as good as a $300 Cold Steel You know, Tanto. I mean, this is obviously this is 440 stainless steel, so you know, and I'm sure that it's not probably not heat treated that well either. So you know, that's how they keep the price down. Is it as good as something that's like, you know, 15 times the price? I think, you know, obviously not, you know, but you know, here's a cold steel knife, $170. Not everybody wants to spend this much, especially if they're just collecting. I mean, you know, are you really getting in sword fights? I really hope not. All right, so I try to bring a wide range of items to you, and you know, there's a lot of guys that are just starting out. Maybe you're just getting into the hobby of collecting weapons. Maybe you own, you know, maybe all the knives you have are small folders, and you just want one big fixed blade, you know, even though you can't even carry this around, but you just want one, you know, because it's a cool thing. Well, I think this would be perfect for that, and you could always sharpen it to a razor sharpness if you wanted to go do some cutting with it. So I'm glad they made this for the price. It's a good item for the price. Alright YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed this knife review, the Honshu Tanto. And stay tuned for many more blades of all sorts, you know, from folders to stuff like this. Even machetes, hawks, you name it. I'm out of here. Peace out, dudes.